Meanwhile, Michael Jackson's sister LaToya and her pet snake Eve have been thrust into the limelight. They're in the latest Playboy, which features an artistic photo spread of LaToya with her snake. There have been mixed family reactions.
Some have been supportive, and of course the others have not.
Those close to LaToya's Jehovah's Witness brother say he's seeing double after hearing about the photos, but LaToya insists he thought they were beautiful.
Garrett Glazer in today's Inside Story. There was continuing turmoil that pushed family members to the edge.
Not only me, a lot of my brothers and sisters have tried to commit suicide. The point of the matter is, it's not which brother and sister tried to do it. The point of the matter is that we lived in a household that would drive you to do something like this.
One of 9 children, she will not reveal any names, but this extraordinary suicide claim came during a long and emotional interview with LaToya Jackson about her controversial new book, Growing Up in the Jackson Family. The Jacksons, one of the most famous families in American music. First, there was the Jackson 5, the brothers who sang hit after hit for almost 15 years. Then Michael with his own incredible success on the albums Thriller and Bad. And finally, Janet, with her hit albums Control and Rhythm Nation. It is a tremendous musical legacy, orchestrated by the Jacksons' parents, Joe and Catherine. But it's a legacy that apparently does not include LaToya.
2300 Jackson Street.
Her estrangement from her own family was never more evident than in the 1989 video, 2300 Jackson Street. All the Jacksons appeared in the video except LaToya, who declined to participate. 2300 Jackson Street is where the children grew up in Gary, Indiana. And according to LaToya, it was a home with many secrets, especially for the boys and their father, Joe.
When they first began as the Jackson 5 and he started rehearsing them, he would beat them to make them to rehearse continuously.
LaToya writes that her mother, Catherine, was a part of the pattern of abuse.
You must understand, it's not just my father, it's my mother too. I've seen him beat one of my brothers. And my mother sits there and she watches. She won't say anything, and she let it happen. She won't say, Joe, but why are you hitting him? He hasn't done anything. She sits there and she let it happen.
LaToya claims that she, too, was beaten.
My father beat me, and he beat me, and he beat me, and then he threw me in the bathroom, and he closed the door. He beat me with a belt buckle and a switch.
How did all this abuse affect the family?
My brothers are grown now, and they have all approached me at different times, and they've cried, and they've said, I'm terribly afraid of my father. It's a shame, but I can't stand to be in the same room with him. And they would always refer to him as, I hate him, I hate him.
I ain't gonna stop till I hit the top.
LaToya does perform in nightclubs, and she has made several videos. But she has not enjoyed any major hit records, and she says her career has been repeatedly stymied by her parents, especially her mother. She says her decision to appear nude in Playboy in 1989 was a direct slap at her parents, and that her brother Michael supported her completely in the matter of the Playboy pictures.
He says, I want you to know that they're fabulous, they're wonderful. He called me 2 weeks later and said, do me a favor. And I said, what is it? Don't let anyone know that I told you this. And the only reason that I'm telling this and saying this, Michael, if you're listening, is to help you. Again, you're covering up your true feelings, you're hiding, and you shouldn't do that. Express yourself and let it out. That's what's wrong with the family. We led a very sheltered life, and no one knows the true family, how they really are.
In an obvious and stark contrast to 2300 Jackson Street, LaToya Jackson describes her entire family as dysfunctional. She says she hopes her brothers and sisters will come forward now to support her version of growing up in the Jackson family. Garrett Glazer, Entertainment Tonight.
This week in Today newspaper, Michael Jackson's sister, LaToya.
Find out what life was really like behind the scenes with my glamorous family. And read the book they didn't want me to write. I don't hold anything back.
A shocking world exclusive. The Jacksons exposed only in Today this week.
She recorded a handful of albums, put together a nightclub act, and hosted a television infomercial dealing with psychics.
Thank you, and welcome to Psychic Discoveries.
Meanwhile, her discontent with her family and career was growing. In 1988, she fired her father and hired Jack Gordon to be her manager. A year later, she married Gordon and posed for some provocative pictures dressed in a snake.
I saw it when I went to 7-Eleven. I look over the counter. And it was shocking to me. I ran home and told my brothers. I said, what? He said, yeah, LaToya's in Playboy.
I would have bet my life that my daughter wouldn't have gotten in Playboy and gotten naked and showing her body. I shouldn't laugh about it. I can laugh now, but at first it was so hard for me. And the reason why my daughter, she always wore long dresses, she always wore pants or boots. She never exposed herself.
She was very conservative.
Very, very.
LaToya Jackson breaks the silence over her vile and dangerous husband.
I got hit with a chair.
The most explosive interview of the year.